It's always great. I think it's nice to, I guess, see all clients or stakeholders of the industry, I guess, hear about what some of the industry players are doing. I think there's a lot of movement happening at the moment, and I guess it's really nice to get everyone in the same room and be able to talk about, I guess, a lot of the developments that are taking place, because they're quite prevalent to the industry at the moment. It's always nice. We spend a lot of our time kind of seeing clients, and I guess a conference like this makes our lives a lot easier. You get to see them all in one place, I guess, share one or two drinks, one or two coffees with the guys, and it's always nice, I guess, to see all the industry stakeholders. So yeah, no, it's a fantastic time. So I think the theme as a whole is very relevant at the moment. I think right now, more than ever, I think business models are being challenged. I think we're seeing a lot of kind of nimble entrants into the industry, and I guess come with what I sort of say is kind of last mover advantage. They've got the benefit of hindsight, and they get to see how kind of an industry as a whole is kind of framed, and I think things have changed a lot. And the businesses that are entering into the space now have kind of that benefit of hindsight. But with that being said, I think it's great to see a lot of the insurers aren't sitting with kind of their head in the sand. I think a lot of them are speaking kind of a good game. They know that the industry is ripe for disruption. And I think a lot of them are putting quite a lot of commitment and money behind sort of setting up funds, incubation hubs. A lot of them are kind of looking at how they reformat their executive, which I think is all movements in the right direction. I think back to, I suppose, Fulcrum's perspective is most of the disruption that we hear about here is all kind of changes to business models. It's new business models being introduced, whereas we think at Fulcrum the kind of biggest disruption that can happen is for the current thriving intermediated industry. Give them the ability to kind of thrive going forward. I think more than ever, and what's been made pretty clear here, is that the current broker environment is being challenged, specifically around personal lines. And I think a lot of the kind of direct business models are going to put a lot of pressure on the current brokerages. So what we as Fulcrum really are doing is seeing as to how we can kind of introduce product, how we can introduce systems to make sure that that intermediated channel can remain relevant in the current market. So Tim, I think it's already happened. I think probably the two most disruptive businesses in the South African marketplace was OUTsurance, when they introduced the kind of direct to consumer insurance model, as well as I guess Hippo, where customers really can get kind of an overview of what they're buying, rather than just trusting on kind of a broker's word. So I think it's already here. I think we've already seen a lot of the personal lines portfolio move away from the traditional broker markets into a more direct kind of insurance distribution model. So I think it's very much here. I think from a Fulcrum perspective, it's very much a work in progress. I think we've helped most of our brokers maintain their relevance. I think we've done it through many pockets in our industry, albeit providing capital to the market to allow them to grow and gain scale through business acquisitions, whether it's introducing premium finance options to them to allow them to be able to offer their clients a more kind of cost-effective way to repay their premium, or I guess around our Delta initiative, which is for us a whole sort of fintech play, which we think is really going to take the market by storm. If you really break it down to what AI is providing, it's really providing the customer with a quicker and better buying experience of insurance. So we don't think it's the be-all and end-all of where things are going, but we really think that if brokers can ultimately make their processes more efficient and make the buying experience that consumers are gaining through them a better experience, we think that the concept of AI shouldn't be that disruptive to their current business models. So if you look at a lot of the work and development that we're really doing around Flexi, what we're looking at doing is aspects of introducing process flow, multi-quoting, API integration. All of those facets will ultimately make the purchase of insurance through an intermediated model much more efficient and ultimately give the consumer a much better buying experience. And we think by doing that, suddenly the concept of AI and the disruption that AI can cause to the broker model won't be that extreme. But it's really up to the brokers to make sure that they can ultimately invest and make their operational processes much more efficient, so that consumer experience is the same whether a person goes through an AI direct channel or through an intermediated channel. So Tim, our whole business model revolves around brokers and really allowing them to thrive in the changing environment. And I think what we do is we get out of bed every day to make sure that we think about, what is it that we can introduce? What is it that we can kind of latch onto our current platforms to make sure that brokers kind of have a kind of lifeline going forward. So very much, I guess, our message to brokers is come have a chat with us. Come see what we have to offer. Come kind of nitpick around our offering. We're always open to talk to brokers to understand what it is their needs are, what are their concerns. We're very much a business that listens to our clients and make sure that wherever our direction or strategy of our product, of our platforms, of our business is going, it's making sure that it meets the needs of our customers. So, if you're not part of the Fulcrum family at the moment, please come have a chat to us. Let's see how we can, I guess, customize some of our products, some of our offerings to make sure that you remain relevant in the market.